PPC sales is the fourth highest ranking when it comes to increasing your organic SEO. For every one PPC sale, you should get 3 organic sales over the next 6 months. What do you have for me? How can I help you today?
So I have an account. It was a transfer, and their main issue was high tacos. Their tacos was about 26%, and they wanted tacos below 22%. We decreased tacos to a point where client was happy, but now they are saying like, okay, I want to get my sales to 40K, which is 2 times what they are currently selling. They sent an email. Actually, I already have a cancellation ticket for that, because they said like, if I don't see October selling more than 40K, I don't want to be in MAG anymore.
Okay, so essentially the issue is that you guys lowered overall from a taco's perspective, right? Are you seeing organic growth within that, or is it just that you've managed to make ads a little bit more efficient?
We are seeing organic growth because sales have not decreased. Well, yeah, we are seeing organic growth. It's slight, but
What is goal ACoS?
goal ACoS is 50%. Goal tacos right now know that he wants to grow is 25%.
So we're still a little low overall. Let's look at this from a this month perspective.
We were able to decrease ACoS.
What do you think is the primary problem overall on the account right now?
Lack of traffic. So this account doesn't have design, and I already spoke with client and I spoke with brand director about doing some main images as added value. Basically, client was selling much more last year. Then they started selling during January or February a lot less, and they started with MAG, I think, in July. So something that I have seen is page views and sessions decrease a lot after December. So when he got with MAG, a primary focus was to decrease tacos, which we did. Now he knows that we need more traffic. His conversion rate is not that bad, and that's why he wants us to spend more. His logic is, if we spend the double, we should double the sales. If we spend triple, we should triple the sales, which I don't think is correct. I do think that what he's having is, after he decreased his sales in December, he lost a lot of organic rankings. So his page views and sessions decreased a lot.
So I'm just pulling some of this on Cerebro. My first inclination immediately just seeing this. Let's back up slightly and I'll ask you the question, Charlie. What is the best organic to paid ratio?
2 to 1.
What is the organic paid ratio that you're looking at right now?
10 to 1.
Okay.
So we are not spending enough.
We're not spending enough. And especially, we can easily just look at this. So let's just pull our organic rank in general. Let's just look at like our 1 to 20 range. So we have 100 keywords, right, that are organically ranking 1 to 20. So I immediately would want to look at, for instance, all of our 20s, right, and see where exactly we might be able to pull in some additional ad spend, right, to pull up our ranking on these, especially when we're looking at like a super low cost per click on average of 61 cents. And like, this is one of the #1 top keywords. This is one of the first place I would look. Second to that, we want to look at our strike zones, right? So our 20 to 50 range. We want to see essentially, what are we actually doing? And immediately what I'm kind of seeing, I mean, if we let's just do it from a sponsored rank. We have a lot of keywords right here immediately. It looks like, only about 15 to 20 of 120 keywords out of our strike zone, which our strike zone is what?
It's what we use for SEO phase 3, between 20 to 50.
There you go. Bingo. Okay. So if we're looking at our strike zone, and that's our strike zone through SEO phase 3, if we're updating the SEO for our strike zone keywords, we should also at the same time be throwing some fuel on the fire. And what I mean by that is devoting a little bit of ad spend towards those keywords, because PPC sales is the fourth highest ranking when it comes to increasing your organic SEO. For every one PPC sale, you should get 3 organic sales over the next 6 months. So looking at that immediately, we can essentially see here that we have a ton of keywords. Now, these are pretty low search volume keywords in general, but here's a great one. Men's long wallet, super high relevancy, decent search volume. We're strike zone 35. We're not advertising towards it, right? Not too high of a cost per click. This is like premium, what I would be looking at from like adding into even like an exact target campaign from that standpoint, because this is going to be a perfect area that we want to essentially try and increase our overall sales volume from. This is just the long. I would do this and follow this exact process and look at each of these for every single one of their products. So I just went down and I just chose their top seller right now. I mean, we could do this same exact thing and we can look at this one. They do need to update their imagery just because this is, I mean, it's blurry. So not the best images in the world. I agree with you. Something I would do. What's burn on this account right now?
Burn rate is 40%. It's high.
Oof. We're better on our organic to paid ratio here, but we're a little low on the organic side for this one, right? But I would follow a very similar process within this of looking at some of these. So a lot of times when we are looking at new areas for potential keywords, looking at our strike zone is one of the easiest areas we can start to kind of see. And we can even just go from like our top search volume. So super high relevancy keyword, or I guess keyword phrase, chain wallets for men. It's organic rank 45. So it's in our strike zone where we want to increase. We're not advertising against it. And it's our highest search volume keyword. This right here, and then like wallet with chain for men, same thing. These are great keywords for like an exact campaign at the end of the day, where we should be targeting exactly this phrase to try and increase because it's super relevant to our product, has a really good search volume, fairly low from a cost per click standpoint, and it is in our strike zone. So this is where I would focus for an ads campaign right now, is just essentially looking for keywords like this for each one of the products and finding them to hone in on. Now, your ACoS as a whole on the account is a little bit higher than I think is what I would say good. How much of this have you guys looked at from a just wasted ad spend perspective?
Wasted ad spend should be low. We have been focusing a lot on optimizing our campaigns, but the exact percentage, I don't have it right now.
Okay, so we're seeing at about, what would that be? About 15% wasted ad spend. So we're a little higher than what we want to be. What is goal wasted ad spend? Let me ask you that question.
Wasted ad spend is any spend that didn't get any sale. So goal should be below 5%.
Usually between 5 and 8% is what I like, because that means you're doing enough where you're trying and testing new targets, right? But at the end of the day, you're not overspending. So I'd look at a lot of these. It looks like you pretty much have two campaigns in particular. One's an SD campaign, one's an SB campaign. I'll be entirely frank, just looking at the products that you guys have right now, the listings you guys have, I don't think sponsored brand or sponsored display campaigns are going to be effective. And the reason is that right now, the way that the products are set up, there is not a brand, so to speak, unless this client were to give us like design tier and whatnot and let us like do some stuff. I would stick fully just with sponsored products right now. Put 90% plus of your budget towards that. So total spend is 3,000 on the dot. That makes things easy. So how much are we actually doing sponsored product versus everything else? 2,400. So we're paying about $600. Yeah. So it looks like pretty much all of that wasted spend is coming from sponsored display for the most part and sponsored brand. I really just wouldn't focus on either of those all that much. If you are going to focus on one of them, sponsor brand more than sponsor display. But until we reach a threshold where our overall ad sales volume is at least 10 to 15,000, I wouldn't even look at touching sponsor display yet. I would focus very heavily right now on sponsored product. And at that, we have a lot of competitor campaigns in here, which are okay. I think maybe a little too many. You guys have a lot of campaigns for how little spend there is. I saw a phrase in here. I'm not seeing any broad campaigns whatsoever. You guys definitely need to invest in some broad across the board. That's going to be a big area as well. Again, I would essentially come back here and do word count max of 2. Let's just do this. Let's get rid of this organic in general. Okay. We're going to get rid of our organic in here. And so immediately just looking at some of this, right? We have some in here. I would look at a lot of these, anything between 1,000 and this 10,000 can even go up, I guess, to this one. I wouldn't target just wallet because that's going to be too broad. You're not going to get a lot from that. But I would probably do everything here from this 15,000 down to 1,000 search volume. And I would look at adding some broad targeting in there, because broad targeting is what's going to allow us to essentially increase that overall indexing as well as hit more across the board.
And what is that filter? So you remove it, a strike zone, and then what did you do with 1 and 2?
Yeah, so I right there, I was just looking at word count, a max of 2. Essentially, for broad campaigns, we want to look at a little bit more of generic keywords versus phrase match match targets, a max word count of 2, and then just filter by search volume below 15,000. So anything below 15,000 on your search volume and a max count of 2 keywords, and those would be some decent to look at for broad match types.
Excellent. You gave me a lot of homework, Noah. I already took my notes and I will start with my shooting Loom videos and having a call with my PPC team.
Love to hear it. Awesome. All right, sir. Let me know if you need anything else, okay?
Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. Talk to you.